All right. All right. So I'm gonna attempt to give you guys an update. Hi, beautiful people. My name is Juliet. You already know the deal. Shush your bangs. I have not done like a live video in over a year. Last video that I made that had some sort of update based on my research right before I started filming was February 20th of 2023. It is currently May 18th, 2024. It's been a fat minute. So I'm going to attempt to get ready for lunch with my husband, which is news to you, but not news to me because it's almost been a year since we've been married. But I'm gonna I'm gonna just try. I'm gonna try. Again, this is only for entertainment purposes and mainly because I love to go back and watch different seasons of my life. Now, I will say this, everything in my life has changed. So to be detailed about every single thing is gonna just take a long time, and no one likes to watch a very long video. But since February of 2023, there's a few things that have happened. Number one, I have a different job. I am a secondary teacher, theater teacher, which I would have never thought, and if you would have tried to pitch me that idea when I filmed my last video, I would have laughed. And two, I got married, and I am happily married with an amazing man that I love very, very much. Number three, I've had incredible growth with the Lord. I've never felt closer than I feel now. That doesn't mean life is easy. It's not very easy. Life is hard sometimes, but I feel like I've gained so much knowledge in the past year about Jesus and his person and the beauty of who he is. And yeah, I love Jesus more and more and more every day. And life has been absolutely crazy and insane and hard at times, but really beautiful at other times. And yeah, and four, I moved apartments. So not too far to where I was before, but I did move. So the place looks different because it is a different place. But anyway, first things first, I got married. If you for some reason watch my previous videos to when I lived back in Orlando, one of the things I used to talk about a lot was how much I wanted to be a wife. It's always been a dream. I know for some women, like being a mother is like this intense desire that they have. I'm not saying I don't want to be a mom. I definitely do want to be a mom, but growing up I had like I want to be a wife so bad, and that idea of marriage and the beauty of marriage and doing life with your best friend came true. I married my amazing husband Cade last year in June, so we're about to make 1 year, which is so crazy that has happened, and has been absolutely beautiful. It has been absolutely transformative. It has been absolutely hard. It has been absolutely wonderful. But the greatest thing about all of that is that we've done it together. The way that we got married was really crazy. We first got married, we eloped, and then we got engaged 3 months later. And then we had a dinner reception ceremony, a private, you could call it a private, very small. I think there were like 40 people there, and it was at my parents' house 3 to 4 months after he got on one knee. So one night in May of last year, literally around this time of last year, we were talking about eloping because I had brought it up. I always kind of fantasize about getting eloped, and like the idea of like not necessarily having this huge wedding, but just like going with your best friend and just getting married privately, just you and him. And then I don't know, like I've always liked that idea, which is kind of coming back. I feel like people are starting to do it a lot more nowadays. He went to like a 3-week prayer thing. I stayed back and did some fasting and some praying, and during that season I just felt like a lot of confirmation for it. So when he came back, I talked to him about it again, and he's like, really, like you really do want to elope? And he was like, are you sure? Like I don't want you to regret it. I don't want you to look back and like regret not having a big wedding. And I said, nope, I am solid on my idea. I would love to elope. Let's do it. So we literally went to the court 3 weeks after that moment, and we got married. It was very beautiful and sweet and awesome, and I loved every second of it. And I cannot believe I'm saying all that with dots of foundation on my face, but it's okay. Man, it has been the most transformative year of my life. Being a wife, and like the sacrifice that goes into it, the amount of love that you have for this person, it has been beautiful and wonderful, and we love being married. It is fun. He is funny, and the way he serves me and the way he treats me, it just reminds me of the love of Jesus for his bride. And I kind of say that all the time, but I really do mean that. He's not perfect by any means, neither am I, but we are happy. There is just this security that we bring to each other. We're like, even if we're upset at each other, even if we're like annoyed or whatnot, there's this comfort of like, it'll pass, and I love him more than anything, and he loves me more than anything, and it's okay. So marriage is great. Going on to the second thing, a big reason why we eloped at the time that we did was because we felt like the Lord was moving us into this job together, like this new job together. We're like, hey, if we want to do this together in a way, like we already know we're gonna get married, the only thing that's keeping us on hold right now is like the ring and whatnot. And I was like, that's the least of my concerns. I want to start our life. And he was like totally on the same page. And so we agreed to elope, and then we spent the summer just kind of getting to know each other as husband and wife, and like learning each other. Obviously moved in together after we got married and whatnot. August hit, 2 months after we got married, and we started new jobs at the same place. We start working together, which for some people that might not be like fun, but for us is like super fun. We still don't get to see each other a lot because our jobs are so extremely demanding. I'm a teacher, as I already told you, and he works at the same school with the sports department, and that has been a journey for me. So I'll talk it now, kind of leaving my husband a little bit to the side. You couldn't have convinced me, literally, that I would be a high school teacher. You just could not have. And middle school, I'm not leaving my middle schoolers to the back, but I do teach both middle and high school. That's why I said secondary. So the Lord led us to that school back in March, so a few months before we got married. When we first heard about the school, it was pretty much all about my husband, and like I went there just to tour the school for him to get a job there, and so like we went together. I had a really great job at the time that I'm so grateful for, that I had until right before I started in August, so I had it all the way till July. So I had an incredible job I was a theater teacher, but at a school of arts. It was just like an after school kind of program, and I was teaching more little ones, younger ones from like ages 5 through like 15. So we went there, and as we were touring, I'll just say this, the Lord immediately spoke to me and my now husband, at the time boyfriend, about all the things that he was going to do. He gave so much confirmation on that tour that we took that we're like, oh my gosh, we left that place feeling so stirred up by what God was doing. We had no idea that our lives were going to change by a tour. We signed contracts together. I started in August, and my life has been completely changed. So a big prayer of mine during that time was, Lord, what is my purpose with this assignment? Like, why are you calling me to this school for such a time as this? And he spoke very clearly to me, and he gave me the scripture in Exodus 33:11, which says, thus the Lord used to speak to Moses face to face as a man speaks to his friend. When Moses turned again into the camp, his assistant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, would not depart from the tent. Okay, so basically at this time in the Bible, they were in the desert, and the people of Israel would build tents, and they would follow this cloud. Joshua was like Moses's like little assistant friend person. They would build this tent where Moses would meet with the Lord, and it says that he would meet face to face with him up on this tent, right? And Joshua would stay back even after Moses would leave the tent, which means like Moses would go in there and Joshua would go in there with him. Anyway, so he gave me that verse, and basically what he was speaking to me about was like, I want you to build a tent for me, and I want that to be your classroom, and I want you to have a dwelling place for me in this campus where you come and meet with me there. And then when your students come in there, because of what you built, they're going to come and they're going to meet with me. Even after you leave this assignment, they will not depart from my presence. And that was so moved by that I was like, okay, so it kind of gave me like a lot of excitement and courage. But the first 3 months were hell. Literally horrible. I was experiencing like the worst kind of pushback for projects that I wanted to do. Everything was hard. It was not this easy peasy lemon squeezy process. It was hard. I felt like I couldn't find my place. I was scared. I was nervous. I wrote my first show because I was like, I want to do something original. These kids had never even heard of musical theater before, let alone theater. Mind you, I come from a school, like when I was in high school, he had a huge arts program, a huge choir program, a huge theater program, even a band, orchestra. All these things were so big in my school that I did not understand how those things were not even available to these students at this school. And so I was very burdened because the reason why I had the most amazing high school experience was because of these programs that were offered to me in high school that made me grow and made me learn so much. And I'm still so close to like my theater teacher, my choir teacher. I talk to them and I ask them for advice, and they've now become like mentors in my life. I took it upon myself to kind of, you know, make that place for the Lord, and I would meet with the Lord, and for those 3 months, man, I would cry on my planning periods. I was like, this is hard, like I'm not happy here, like what is going on? Earning the trust of the students, building culture, all that was so hard, and it still is hard at times because I'm like trying to build something that's like, you know, that they feel proud of, that I feel proud of, that God is proud of, all these things, right? After the first show in December, which, you know, was like half a year ago, everything completely changed. We had such a good performance that it was like we had never done anything like this before, and for the kids to grow into actors and singers and dancers that were comfortable on the stage was so amazing to experience. Man, God has been so involved in everything that it has made it so worth it. And so then we did our second musical. We had auditions, which we doubled in size in the audition room, which was such a huge answered prayer because I really wanted this program to grow, and I want to be able to develop it and make it something that's good, you know, make it something that's excellent and good and worth people's time and investment in being a part of it. So we're still in the building stages, but something that everybody is proud of and that they feel that they grew out of it and that they are just excited to be a part of and excited for the next thing, and that just kind of gives them a place to belong to within the vision that Jesus gave me. Obviously that's like the mold, everything happens within that. We don't do anything outside of that. I could talk so much more about this job that the Lord has blessed me with and how, you know, the ups and downs of it, but I think the most beautiful part has been actually seeing that word that he gave me from Exodus come alive, as my kids are like, now it's come to the point where I'm working, my kids just kind of come in and they sit in the corner where I play worship music and they just read the Bible and they fellowship and they learn about Jesus, and they just kind of do that on their own now. That has been so extremely beautiful to watch and witness, and also seeing the Spirit move as like we break down scriptures and like we talk about all these things within the classroom. And again, it's not forced, but the environment is set for them to be able to tap into something deeper as they read the scriptures and they wonder and they have questions about Jesus and they have questions about the Holy Spirit, and you can see them come alive in God, and that has been wonderful. The last part is because this job was about an hour away, we decided to move. We also knew that our time at where we were at before was coming to a close, and we both felt from the Lord that it was time to move. We found this beautiful apartment complex here that we're at now, and we are happy, and our apartment is beautiful, and we love being home. God is speaking to us so much about the future and what's coming, but we're also like so present on what the Lord is doing right now because we know that we're never gonna get today back. I'm excited for what the Lord is doing. I definitely have lots of dreams and passions that are starting to become a reality that I'm excited to share with you guys one day. Talking about him. Baby! Come here! He just got home.
Hey.
I was just filming. I was about to close.
Okay. You're still filming right now?
Yeah.
Hey.
This is my husband, Cade.
I'm saying this is my crown right here.
Love you. Mwah. Anyway, so that's the life update right now. It's been amazing, it's been great, it's been fun, it's been exciting. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining me today on this beautiful day. I hope you guys have a great day. And remember, if you do it with Jesus, it's better. Don't do it by yourself. Do it with Jesus. I hope you guys have a great day, and I maybe will see you guys soon. I don't know, but see you guys later. Bye.